Hi everyone, welcome back to River and Rune. So, fun things afoot, I have to say. We just passed by a very powerful full moon in Aries, especially on Indigenous Peoples Day. So, happy Indigenous Peoples Day to all the Indigenous people across the world. And so this full moon in Aries, and its connection to our previous reading from last week. Last week's reading was very much talking about the cathartic energies that would be available to us to help heal, to help find our home within our hearts, and also within the things that bring us joy in our life. So with this full moon in Aries, especially that was happening on Sunday, Monday, that powerful energy flowed into us and assisted us in setting intentions, in setting our schedules up in certain ways that we can have appropriate boundaries for ourselves, appropriate boundaries for the things that we do, and also being able to make those boundaries in such a way that we find out where our home is. And what I find so poignant, especially about the energies that have been available in this week, especially coming to today, this Wednesday, with this nor'eastern that's happening in New York City, which I'm very excited about. I do like storms. So I've been feeling a lot of that catharsis that was happening from last week is moving into this sense of forgiveness that we have to have not only for ourselves, but for the ways that we have comported ourselves in our lives, things that we've done in the past that maybe we have regretted, or perhaps even in terms of past lives, things that we need to help ourselves heal from, to forgive, so that we can open our hearts up more for the blessings, the joys, and the things that we will have in this life, and we want in this life. So, a lot of powerful things coming up, and I'm very grateful that you guys have decided to join me again on River and Rune. So let's get straight to it. Okay, so let's see what the runes have to say for this upcoming week ahead. Now, we're still in the midst of the Celtic month of Ivy, and I read something very beautiful today about the Celtic month, where it connected to stones and how stones have within themselves the power of the earth and the currents of the earth that flow through ley lines, as they're called, or energy channels of the planet. And we as people have the ability to connect to these energetic lines, which sometimes were called dragons, as they move through the earth. So, of course, a part of the cathartic element of recovery and understanding oneself is to take time with our actual home, with the earth, to give yourself time with the stones, the mountains, the rivers, the streams, to walk with the trees. Give yourself time to reconnect with nature, with our home planet, and give yourself that time. So, that was something that came to mind earlier today. So let's see what we have in store. Yep. Okay. So given the context of what happened last week, where the ending energy was Ingwas, right? So here we have that Ingwas energy, the stones kind of fell in that diamond shape, right? Fell very close together. Sometimes when the stones fall together, I tend to read this as there's elements of compression in your life, elements where you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders, things like that. So if that does resonate with you, I send my love to you guys, and I hope that you're able to take some time for yourselves to recover, to take a moment to breathe, and to reconnect with your center. In the context of last week, though, we have Ingwas, that home, that stability, that foundation. And that's what I felt connected to. Sorry guys, the camera moved. That's what I felt connected to when I saw this pattern in the stones. So, first up, starting from the center, going around in the turning of seasons with the flow of time. The first thing that will hit is Gevel. So, Gevel in runic lore, as you can see here, we have the X. Now, first thing that comes to mind when I say that is X marks the spot. That old saying where you find treasure, or you find something that's important to you, or find something that's special to you. When it comes to Icelandic traditions or Nordic traditions, Gebel usually references exchange, equivalent exchange, the exchanging of gifts. So for example, if in Old English traditions, in the British Isles and that geographical location, if a king was to show his respect to his vassal or someone who he wants to be a part of his team or a part of his group or a part of his table, he would often give a gift, right? Because in exchange for this person's fealty, he gives a gift of gold or a gift of his ring to suggest that, hey, I offer you also my fealty. I offer this ring to you. So that equal exchange is very much a part of Nordic traditions and Nordic cultures, because it was a lot about maintaining the energetic balance, saying that I'm going to give you something, that I'm going to provide you my fealty, provide you my loyalty, provide you these things, and hopefully through the energetic exchange, I will receive that in turn. I will receive that in kind. Of course, when it comes to, this still applies with unconditional love and with all the beautiful things that we want to give to people and provide. And of course, there's always an energetic balance. So as I give unconditionally, so the universe shall give unconditionally back. That's the idea here. There's that exchange, that giving. So, of course, this does reference relationships particularly. I often feel this to represent friendships or represent areas in your life in which you are in constant exchange with someone. So perhaps this does reference boundaries. Perhaps a lot of us are going through situations where we have friendships, or we have business partnerships, or we have romantic relationships where there is an imbalance between the energetic flow. There's something that is blocking the river from moving, so to speak. So again, take your time, pull back, ask yourself, with gentleness of course, where are you coming from? What are you giving? Do you have expectations in terms of what you want to receive? Is this really where you want to be in terms of the exchange between yourself and this person? Is this the kind of relationship that you want with your business partner or whoever it is? And may even be your pet. Maybe you have a strenuous relationship with your dog or with your cat, and you may need a time to take back and say, okay, am I doing something where I'm giving them a lot of anxiety, or I'm bringing anxiety into the home, and so my cat is reacting to that? Things like that. These are the questions to ask. Questions of relationships, questions of exchange, questions of where our energies are going. And also, I feel that within the first couple of days of this week. So from Wednesday up until I'd say Friday. Yeah, I'd say Friday, pushing it into Saturday, but I'm feeling mostly Friday. There's going to be a reception of a gift, or to receive something that perhaps is unexpected. So keep a lookout for that. Later on in the week, we have Perthro. So Perthro here is a very powerful rune. It connects to the Lot cup. It also connects to the cave, to the vagina, to feminine principles. It connects to knowledge of one's destiny. The possibilities are endless with this rune. The Lot cup, where you toss your dice to see how things will fall. So that energy is in this rune. So this rune often is correlated, at least for myself and my practice, I correlate it often with the High Priestess in the tarot decks. So the energy of later on this week is really tapping into the feminine principle, tapping into the aspects of ourselves that speak through the gut, speak through our intuitions, speak through the ways in which, speak through the silence. I feel like this weekend may be a good time to take time for yourself, to no longer eat time or throw time away, but to really take time to nurture it, to give yourself that moment where you can listen to yourself in the silence. Listen for that intuition, listen to the voices that come from the cave. So any of you who are out there watching this right now may be connecting to past lives, or maybe connecting to ancestral work, or maybe connecting to things that are part of your deeper history. And so that's a lot of work. That takes a lot of time. It also takes a lot of effort. So as you walk into this later in the week, going from Saturday onward into Wednesday, really give yourself that time to listen to your intuition about your relationships, about the home that you're building, or the home that you want to see for yourself. Perhaps there are situations in your life that you ask yourself, do I really want this? Is this really taking and giving me what I need? Am I taking what I need for it? Am I giving to it what I feel I need to give to it? Am I in appropriate exchange with this thing, with this relationship, or this process? And as I listen to my intuition, may I have the ability, the courage, and the hope in my heart to move forward, to make those changes, as subtle as they may be. Because of course, even the smallest shift in a grain of sand on a dune somewhere in the desert can create the strongest of ripples in our lives. And sometimes all it comes down to is a decision to do something differently, to treat yourself with self-respect, to treat yourself the way you feel that you deserve to be treated. And of course, within the context of how you are relating to others. Are you doing this in right standing? Are you doing this with good intentions, right? So that seems to be the message for this week. There's a lot of energy behind that. So as we walk into the rest of this, from Wednesday to Thursday to Friday and moving onward, take your time, reconnect with yourself, reevaluate your position in relationships, look out for that really fun thing that's coming for you. So if there's anyone out there that's, may have this little gut inkling or this gut feeling that you're going to run into something special or something fun, or you may stumble upon something that you may not have looked at before, this also relates to that. The gift that your ancestors are bringing you, the gift that your higher self is giving you, the gift that you can give to yourself. And then connecting to that intuition. Take that time, reconnect, feel through those intentions that you laid in the full moon. Especially since this was a very powerful full moon this past Saturday, Sunday, Monday time. So thank you guys for joining me. I'm very excited, I'm very thankful and grateful that you were here on River and Rune to find out what the week has in store for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. I will actually be on a YouTube live tomorrow um, on the show called Blunted on Reality. It's gonna be fun. It's a YouTube live, so you can catch me there at tomorrow, Thursday at 9 p.m. I believe we'll go on, and that's going to be fun. I also have some ideas. I really do feel like I want to get into doing some rune readings, some romance rune readings for the weekends. So I'll be doing that on Friday, on Freya's day, and I could discuss a little bit more about Freya and her relationship with the runes and her relationship with the divinatory practices of the northern people, and have a little bit more of an informational session about the mythology and things like that. So again, thank you guys for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you here next time on River and Rune. All right? Have a great time, everyone.